really appreciate again everyone who is joining us here today. And this is actually our first panel of a number of panels that we are actually hosting today as MCN. Today is essentially our official summit day. And while we had wanted to do this event live and in person last year to gather Muslim civic leaders and thought leaders from all over the country, obviously because of COVID, we do so. However, the virtual format honestly isn't that bad either in getting everyone together. So really grateful for everyone's time. A little bit about MCN. MCN, we are a nonprofit organization here in the city, and our mission is to help develop the civic leadership of Muslim Americans in order to shape the narrative about who we are as Muslims in the United States. And that narrative has obviously evolved over the years. And 9/11 was a segment of time that really kind of jolted all of us to say that, hey, we need to start owning our narrative. And the work that all of you are doing here today is really part of shaping that narrative and owning the narrative of really what this country means to us and how we as a community can combat the misinformation and the policies that negatively impact our communities. So here with us today, it's a meet and greet with all of the Muslim city council, Muslim candidates who are running for New York City Council. And this is absolutely unprecedented because I don't think we've ever seen in any other election cycle so many of our brothers and sisters taking the leadership role and saying that, hey, we are the ones who are best to represent this community. So who are they? It's my pleasure to introduce you to, I'm going to just run down the names and the districts that you're running for. Unfortunately, because of time, we cannot delve into a deeper bio, but I'm sure with the questions we have in store for you, you'll be able to share your story with us. But we have essentially Momita Ahmed from running for City Council District 24. We have Khalid Al-Amri running for City Council District 32. We have Fatima Baryab from running for City Council District 25. Mr. Shabul Uddin, CD 24. Al Hassan Kanu from Council District 27. Sister Shahana Hanif from City Council District 39. Abdurrahman Diallo running for City Council District 16, Mamnoon Haq from City Council District 39, and Ms. Shoma Sayed also running for City Council District 24. I'm a proud City Council District 24 a member. So really excited to again welcome you all. We have an amazing line of other civic organizations who are co-sponsoring this panel, and that includes the Pakistani American, APAG, right? Ali?
Yes, American Pakistani Advocacy Group.
Advocacy Group, that's right. We have the UPNA Community Center, which is based in Brooklyn. We have Engage Action, who is endorsing this event, as well as the Young African Network group. So thank you so much. And without further ado, we are recording this session. So let me introduce you to my amazing co-host today, MCN Program Coordinator Ali Kaba and Brother Ali Rashid from APAG. Thank you so much for, again, bringing all these candidates together and coming up with these amazing questions you have in store for us.
Definitely. Brother Rashid, do you want to introduce your organization and yourself?
Yeah, sure. Good afternoon, everybody. It's great to have everybody here. Just to give you a brief background of American Pakistani Advocacy Group, APAC. It's an organization that seeks to increase awareness and representation of our communities by the city, state, and federal level. both through the sponsorship and promotion of policies. It is our mission to assist in bridging the gap between East and West, between South Asians, between Muslims, and in order to recognize the significance of the contribution the South Asian and the Muslims have done in America. And we are based out in New York City, which is home of the one of the largest Muslims communities in America. And our goal is to change the narrative surrounding Muslims, and we recognize the imperative duty to serve our community, especially those in needs. And APAC has developed a variety of vehicles aligned with the goals of changing the narrative. Most recently, just last week, we have passed a historic resolution that mark Kashmir as a Kashmir Day in New York State. It's the first time. It's based on human rights, and I think it was the great achievement that we have done, along with the COVID pandemic work we have done. So again, it's a pleasure to have everybody here. I wish everybody best of luck. And it is unprecedented, as Anika says, to have so many people in one platform, and also so many people running. June 2021 is a historic election. And this opportunities won't come another 100 years. So many vacancies, and we are hoping for a Muslim and South Asian candidate to definitely win and represent us in the city level. And I wish you all the best. And APAC is looking to work with each and every one of you and make sure that we keep advocating your voices, advocating your platforms, and keep doing the work. And again, it's a great collaboration effort with the MCN.
Thank you. Can you guys hear me? Thank you so much for being here. Um, and thank you for the sponsor for sponsoring this event. And for disclaimer, MCN and the sponsor are not endorsing any particular candidate on this platform. This event, the aim is to get to know the Muslim candidate running for the city council and to make them more visible to the Muslim New Yorker. And the format of this candidate forum is that we're gonna first ask 4 questions to each candidate, and each candidate will have a 1 minute and 30 second to answer on the question. And please be respectful of the time limit. And after that, we will open the floor to the audience where we will take 2 or 3 questions. And for time's sake, drop your question at the chat box if the audience have a question. And also, Anika will be monitoring the question. And after that section, we will give 1 minute to each candidate for a closing remark. With that being said, we will go up, we're gonna ask the first question. As someone that actually ran for public office before and won, one of the particular interesting questions that people often ask is that why you decide to run. Can you tell us why you decide to run? And I will start with Sister Hanif.
Thank you so much. Assalamu alaikum, everyone. Good afternoon, MCN family. I'm Shahana Hanif, and feel free to call me Sister Shahana.
Okay.
I was born and raised in Kensington, home to the largest Bangladeshi Muslim working class immigrant enclave in all of Brooklyn. District 39 is where I attended public school, at PSU 30, where my family still lives, and where I've committed to building community power block by block. At 17, I was transported from one Brooklyn hospital to another for treatment of lupus, an incurable illness that almost killed me. I had both hips and my left shoulder replaced. I saw how structural inequities are holding so many of us back, and these experiences drove me to action. As a Brooklyn College student, I advocated for a just transit system, improved access for students with disabilities, and a language accessible healthcare system. I organized the power of women in my community against gender-based violence. I'm familiar with the inner workings of city council. As the only woman of color at the director level in council member Brad Lander's office, I led constituent services and grassroots initiatives like participatory budgeting that democratize our city's resources. I'm running to create an anti-racist city with a participatory government forthright about protecting the lives of our communities over profits, rooted in language justice, and invested in advancing a gender equitable recovery with universal childcare and a city budget rooted in care, not harm. In District 39, we have an opening to elect a woman. the first ever in this district, raised in Kensington, and to elect a Muslim woman to the city council, which our city has never done. Thank you so much for having me.
Thank you. Sister Soma, can you go next?
Good afternoon. Assalamu alaikum. Good to see everybody. Thank you, MCN family and brother Ali Rashid. I am Soma Syed. I'm an attorney raised in Jamaica, Queens, an immigrant from Bangladesh, and a Muslim, and a resident of Queens, lifelong resident. I've been practicing law for more than 16 years. I was one of the first Muslim attorneys probably in the USA, and I happened to be an attorney right after 9/11. So I've witnessed so many inequities and injustices committed in our communities. And I practiced for many years because that was my first passion. I wanted to be an attorney since I was 12 years old. And I pursued with vigorous passion and dedication and forewent so many other activities that my peers were participating in. So an immigrant, woman of color, a Muslim can become an attorney in this country when so many Muslim girls and women were not encouraged to be an attorney because of the rigorous needs of being an attorney. And I'm proud of that. And I'm running because we need representation and advocacy in our communities, in our Muslim communities, for our sisters and brothers, for our children. I'm running because I want to fight for the next generation. I'm in the middle of my life, and our children should not have to suffer, should not have to struggle the way I have. And that's why I'm running, because we need to set the platforms, we need to set the standards, and we need to start sending the encouragement and the platform and the pipelines for next generation of leaders in public office, in journalism, and other fields where we don't have many Muslims running or being in places. And that's why I'm running, because I have the leadership, I have led. I'm the current president of the Queens County Women's Bar Association. In its 91 history, and the first South Asian and the first Muslim. And I'm proud of the work I have done here. I'm also the chairperson of the New York State Bar Association and Lawyer Referral, Lawyer Information and Service, where I oversee over 60 counties in upstate and connect attorneys with clients, because competent representation matters. Equitable representation matters. And that's why I'm running, because I want to see a city devoted to people's rights, children's rights, to rights of people regardless of color, gender, nationality, and race. And being a Muslim, I know the struggles. I've been through them. When people were thinking, maybe should you change your last name? I said, hell no, I'm not changing my last name. Oh, you shouldn't act too Muslim because, you could be, this happened right after 9/11. I said, no, I am who I am, and I'm proud of it, because my mother raised me that way. My father raised me that way. And generations of women and men leaders from my communities raised me. And I'm proud of my heritage, and I'm proud of my work, and I'm going to be proud to lead this community in District 24 going into the future. Thank you so much.
Thank you. Please be respectful of the time, please. The next person I will take Shabul.
Assalamu alaikum. You can call me Mohammed Uddin. I don't mind at all, because after 9/11, right? So many people change their name, like Mohammed to Mo, Ali, something like this, right? And they never wear tupi or hijab, anything. So this is like, I put my name is Mohammed Uddin, and my uniform always like is a Muslim. So anyway, I'm an immigrant from Bangladesh, and I have been living District 24 City Council almost 30 years. I have 3 children who have attended New York City Public School. Since I come United States, I'm a community organizer and community activist. In 2008, became an executive director, Queen chapters, Alliance of South Asian American Labor, which is we work for all the elected officials, their phone banking, door knocking, and community issue. And 2011, become a founding member of Bangladeshi American Advocacy Group, which is a lobby group. We bring our community, issue to the advocacy in the Albanese legislation and there. Also, I was served Unite Here Local 100 delegate and as a shop store like almost 20 years. And I was a group like election commissioner also 1 year. I was a judicial delegate, Queens County Democrat parties. Now I'm an alternate judicial delegate. And I'm one of the largest center in the Jamaica Muslim Center. I'm an executive board, almost 7-8 years still there. I was involved with so many faith organization. As a member of Asal and Bag, we create a halal food in New York City, halal and kosher food, New York City Public School, and bring a Deshi Senior Center in Jamaica Muslim Center. And we work with the Eid holiday, New York City Public School. Still, we fighting for statewide Sunni and Kuni. And we also changed to the JMC way. 168 state is a JMC way. Now we have to change two-way traffic to one-way traffic in Jamaica Muslim Center front on the state. Because I'm running this district.
I'm sorry, the time is up. Can you make your last statement, please?
Okay, so because I'm running for district, because we don't have a fair and share. Our road, our sidewalk, everything's dirty. We need somebody who represents this district. That's why I think I'm a good for this thing and good for this position. I'm running for this district 24. Thank you so much.
Thank you. Please be respectful of the time. We are very constrained because due to the time of the event. Brother Al-Kanu could go next.
Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh. Thank you for the question. As a Muslim brother who served under the only Muslim candidate in the city council, I understand what it means to have the Muslim voice in City Hall. I served both council members in the 27 council district. I served 10 years with then council member Leeway Kamwe when he was in the city council. And I served 5 years with the current member, Danny Miller. Both members are supporting my candidacy because they understand that I know the situation. I know the problems that our people face. Councilmember Miller, as the only Muslim brother in the city council, has fought hard to make sure the voice of Muslims are heard all over the city. I want to continue that trend. I want to make sure that the fight that we fought while we were in the city council doesn't stop because the Muslim brother is not in, or Muslim sister is not in City Hall. There's so much that needs to be done. There's so much that need to be done among ourselves as Muslims, how we respect ourselves, how we treat ourselves, how our voice is heard. We fought those battles in City Hall for the last 8 years in City Council. I am running for City Council as a Muslim brother and as an American in this community that understand the situation, the economic situation that's going on in the 27 Council District, to lend my voice and my advocacy and to fight for all of us as Muslim and as an American. And that's why I'm running for City Council. Thank you.
Thank you so much. Sister Monita could go next.
Hello, assalamu alaikum, everyone. Thank you so much, MCN, for organizing this. This is wonderful. My name is Momita Ahmed. I am a candidate for District 24, although I'm not sure if I will be running in June. We just had our special election and, as I mentioned earlier to the panel, there was special interest that poured more than 221,000 against our candidacy, but I was a candidate who brought together a broad coalition from folks all over our district, from the Jewish Vote to Hispanic American Voter Association, Working Families Party, the Bangladeshi American Advocacy Group, Muslim Entrepreneurs Association, Muslims for Progress, MDC Online, Muslim Democratic Club of New York, and so many others, and even Senator Bernie Sanders, who endorsed our campaign. I decided to run because I was working I founded the Queens Mutual Aid Network, and during the pandemic was helping over 2,000 families access food, medicine, groceries. Actually, I see Sister Debbie Almantasar is on this call, and she remembers we actually advocated for better food, halal food for our communities, and we were on a call with the food czar advocating for ethnically appropriate food, because during the pandemic, I don't know if you all recall, but the halal food that the city had procured for the Muslim community was actually through a military contractor that serves like food rations, military rations in war-torn countries like Libya and Iraq, places where we are continuing to fund wars to destroy the Middle East. I thought that was an insult to the Muslim community. And so these are things that we advocated for: better food justice, rent justice for our communities. I co-founded the Queens Mutual Aid Network, worked for City Council member Costa Constantinides as political director, founded the organization Bangladeshi American Advocacy Group, co-founded with Shahana and others, as well as the New Reformers PAC.
Sorry, you got 30 seconds.
Lots of people into office. So thank you for this opportunity. And if we did decide to run, I would love to have your support in June. Thank you.
Thank you so much, Monita. The Khalid could go next. I'm sorry if I mispronounce your name. Khalid.
Sure, definitely. That's okay. Assalamu alaikum, everyone. My name is Khalid Al-Amiri. In Arabic, it's pronounced Khalid. I'm running for city council to make a difference for our community and to improve people's lives. As a city planner, a scientist, and a project manager, I have worked over 20 years in city government. And I'm the only candidate that has the experience needed to make sure our district gets its fair share of resources and support. I have managed contracts ranging from $1 million up to $50 million. Jamaica Bay Watershed Protection Plan, did the landfill ecological restoration of Penn and Fount Avenue, did projects such as the green infrastructure that is now big citywide. I will work to create jobs for our working families, expand and protect affordable housing, improve local schools, make sure our community and all of its residents are safe. I'll work to improve public transportation and protect community from the danger of superstorms, coastal flooding, and illegal dumping. I'll also fight to make sure each and every resident of our community gets the much needed relief and support to battle the COVID-19 pandemic. I look forward for constructive dialogue with my Muslim community. Thank you.
Thank you so much, Brother Khaled. I think Brother Abdul Rahman Diallo could go next.
Hey, assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi. Hey, how are you, everybody? Thanks for having me, and thanks for the question. And first of all, I'm happy to see all these Muslim brothers and sisters taking the step to run for office, which is great. Hopefully, in June 22nd, we'll have more brothers and sisters in office. And I'm originally from Guinea, West Africa. I am running for office because moving from Guinea is one of the poorest countries in the planet. I grew up in one of the poorest families there, and I'm seeing the difficulty there. And moving here, getting an opportunity to move in the United States on a lottery visa, I thought life would change. I thought I was gonna live next to the White House, seeing, looking at all those pictures before I moved here. But as soon as we live here, things was different. I was living in New York City, but also was living in the Bronx. Bronx is the poorest. The house is the poorest congressional district in New York City, and then the poorest congressional district in the country. So for me, living here and looking at the level of inequality between people on the Upper East Side of Manhattan, people from the South Bronx, I wanted to learn more. That's why I decided to go all the way to China to study poverty alleviation, how China put 850 million people out of poverty, and bring that back to the Bronx and make sure we lift the Bronx and taking helping people. And when you meet people here, Bronx is characterized by garbage, by broken windows, by abandoned houses. We want to make sure we take Bronx out of that poverty and bring it to the level.
We got 50 seconds, brother. 15 seconds.
I look forward to learning more about the candidate here, and I look forward to this race. Thank you so much.
Okay. Fatima, Sister Fatima could go next.
Hello, hi. Sorry, I'm a little late. I got into a car accident, but I'm here. Can you please repeat the question?
The question is why you decide to run.
Okay. I decided to run because I felt that it was the need of the time. And after the COVID pandemic, I saw that my community was suffering. We were the epicenter of the whole pandemic. Elmhurst Hospital was under-resourced, understaffed, and we needed resources. And I felt that apart from that, leading up to the pandemic, there was a lot of things in the community that needed to be addressed, from gentrification to the fact that small businesses were being pushed out, and people, the residents, were unhappy with the way that things were being handled. So I felt that I could address these issues, and that's why I decided to run.
Thank you so much. So Brother Hawk could go last. Can you hear me, brother?
Yes. Assalamu alaikum. Thank you, MCN and APEC for organizing this event. My name is Mamnoon Haq. I'm living in Kensington, Brooklyn. I'm running from Council District 39. I'm living in this country for the last 30 years. I am a union organizer. I'm a public advocate, public health advocate, and a community leader, and a regular New Yorker. I'm serving in the community board for more than a decade, and I organized the New York City taxi cab drivers and co-founded the New York Taxi Workers Alliance, fought for the workers' rights, respect, and dignity in the workplace, and continue doing it. And I believe I'm one of the, I'll be the good candidate for New York City Council, but we don't have any representation. Muslim New Yorker and South Asian community have no representation in the public office. I think there is an opportunity, and city need a person who do have institutional knowledge and grassroots experience, and which is really important, especially the newcomers. More than 2/3 of the city council members will be new. So they need an experienced person who understands the city government well. And I believe I'll be the best candidate. And I'm closely working with the community for a long time, Muslim community, working with the 7 mosques nearby here, and leader of the Muslim community, and the New Yorkers and workers.
5 seconds.
I will be the best candidate, and that's why I decided to run for city council. Thank you.
Brother Ali Rashid, you have the floor to ask the next question.
Thank you, brother Ali Kaba. Just wanted to reiterate about being on time. We have the next question, but we have 9 different candidates, and want to make sure everybody get the right time. The next question, we want to make sure that you emphasize on the 3 policies. The question is, what are the top 3 policies, agendas that your campaign runs on? And just be brief with it, and make sure you list 3 priorities. So I'm going to start with Sister Shahana, because we're going to go in the same order.
Okay, thank you so much. And I want to make sure somebody's keeping time, because I got a lot to say on this. So I'll just, right off the top, identify that my top 3 issues right now that I've been rolling with are housing and gender justice, responding to COVID unemployment, and then, of course, education, equity, and integration. On housing and gender justice, my district, which is not just Muslims, has a severe housing crisis underscored by environmental degradation. So right now, I'm really thinking about how do we revamp the community engagement process around rezoning to really recognizing the need for social housing and expanding funding for community land trusts to ensure that there's more democratic control by residents. I want to see funding and resources for my neighbors, our NYCHA residents. I don't have any NYCHA public housing in the district, but we're undergoing the Gowanus rezoning proposal. I want to make sure that we've got funding, adequate funding and support On COVID unemployment, through peak COVID, I raised over $40,000 for undocumented Kensington residents and Brooklyn residents. There were no identified relief opportunities for our undocumented folks, domestic workers, rideshare drivers. I was helping fast track unemployment benefits for Uber and Lyft drivers while NITWA was fighting a battle with these companies. On education, I want to see more services for our English language learners and students with disabilities. The rollout of remote devices was unfair, inequitable. And I want to really work on ending the school to prison pipeline. Thank you. I see my time's up.
Thank you, Sister Sana. Sister Soma?
Thank you. So my top priorities for my districts are, one of them is make sure everyone gets vaccinated, especially we have a large elderly population. They cannot go to hospitals. They cannot even go to the sites. So we need to work on having mobile vehicles where they can come and vaccinate this elderly immune compromised. Secondly, we need to focus on our small businesses to provide reliefs and assistance, because our small businesses in our district provide employment and jobs for people who actually live, work here. And that's a priority. And that small businesses have not been a priority by the previous administration, as well as state and local government, as much as they should be. Thirdly, we need to focus on education, because without proper education, without adequate funding, without language accessibility, what we're witnessing, a huge digital divide that is directly affecting Black and Brown children. There was a study done that students of Black and Brown communities will be behind anywhere from 3 months to 2 years because of the type of education that has been received during the pandemic. And that is that's a huge issue. So aside from my campaign has been about justice, education justice, criminal justice reform, housing justice, and environmental justice. So I'm very focused. Thank you so much.
Thank you, Soma. Next up is Brother Mohammed Uddin.
Assalamu alaikum. My three agenda is like job, development, and cleanness for our district. Which this district I live in, the district 24, is called Hillside Avenue and Highland Avenue. One of the district we live in, not even district 24 and not even district 27. We are middle of on the corner edge of the two districts, 27 and 24. And if you want to come out this district, mostly we live immigrant community in district. And district is so dirty on the Hillside Avenue, dirty, garbage all over the place, our park. This neighborhood live in middle income class and immigrant family. When they go to the park is a smell, dirty, filthy all over the place. Sanitation department come, take to the all the garbage. And when they come in the liquid on the street, everything is smelling. When you go to the Hillside Avenue and you come in home, your hallway, your room is dirty. So make sure if I'm gonna elect it, I'll make a Queens is a beautiful place to live and no more smell, no more dirty, no more garbage. One. Second thing, my plan is that affordable housing. Same issue, we living on the one house like 2-3 family. I live in this district almost 30 years and there is no rezoning planning. So my plan, we will build a rezoning. So it's good for small business and good for union labor.